So, contrary to popular belief, I'm not on my knees that often. I don't really do this exercise on my knees, just for the camera angle, it's a bit more friendly. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to first find the angle where reaching out or being in that end range is the most challenging, because for me, from a stability perspective, that's where it's the most challenging for me. And then holding that position for around 5 seconds and then coming back in with control. So when I'm in that out position, I'm actually not just basically trying to statically hold it. I'm basically kind of constantly, even if it's just lightly, just pushing out to really try and challenge that position and constantly work the muscle a bit more than just statically holding it. At least that's what it feels like to me. And you can kind of see me working both sides here. So when I'm doing this external rotation drill, I'm really trying to focus on keeping the shoulders down and back and kind of trying to feel the pull through the rotation of my shoulder rather than through the outside of my shoulder or like the lateral delt to kind of get this movement and motion. I also think it's really important, cue that might help, is we basically, the bottom corner of your shoulder blade, there's a little divot in there, and if I can try and feel like I'm pulling down into that little divot, I actually find that really, really helpful for me personally. And then the next variation here is we're actually getting a bit more of a vertical pull on the cable. So I'm challenging it in maybe what looks like maybe the bottom of a shoulder press here. And as you can see, the cable is a bit of a lower angle. So it's actually challenging me to try and pull my hand back down in that top position. But what I'm doing here is I'm obviously trying to hold it and fight it to make sure it doesn't pull my hand down. Same thought process here, just trying to hold that top position or fight that top position for around 5 seconds and then come back down to reset. I find this more friendly than if my elbow was out wide, because if my elbow is out wide, which you see a lot of people doing kind of external rotation work with the shoulder, I actually find that quite aggravating for my shoulder because I can't stabilize it properly and I use other muscles to compensate and my shoulder rounds forward. Whereas if my elbow is a bit closer to my body, I find this bearable and there's less pain, or I'm within my pain tolerated limit. So you guys can kind of work with the angle and figure out what works